Villains. A tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of your most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
What is up? What is up? We are back. Triage, can you hear me good, brother?
Yes, again.
All right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of the Super Breakdown. I am Power Maximus. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. Say what's up, brother, man.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's been a bit of a long week for me. Very, very draining week, but I will never miss a show unless we have to. Um, um, so first off, I want to apologize to level sevens, ladies and gentlemen, for we were running a little bit late today. But we had to do what we had to do, but we're still here. We still made it. We here. So this is going to be the conclusion to our Avatar April. I feel like we've had a good April so far. The episodes have been great. Interview with Hellspawn, Demetrius Holt was absolutely great, absolutely amazing. That went way better than I could have. I think either of us could have possibly imagined there. Um, April's been a good month for us. So yeah, no. With that said, this episode, like I just said, it's gonna be the grand finale. So today we're gonna be focusing on the fire element and earth element to finish it all off. Plus we're just gonna be, the usual talking our bullshit. Um, so today, unfortunately, I was unable to get my trusty bottle of Terramana. So I'm sitting here with a nice little chilled glass of Svedka mango pineapple flavored vodka. It's cheap, lower end, but it gets the job done. Mm. Ah. All right. So, is there any particular characters that you want to that you want to focus on to talk about this episode, Triage?
Well, with us doing firebending, so we're starting off with firebending, and firebending is actually based off the Northern Shaolin style, which is extremely beautiful to look at, but it could also be extremely dangerous when hit with, which fits fire perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was really cool because it was one of those things like where you see the power within the strikes and how they also combined it deeply within the breathing before the blows. So if we're gonna talk firebenders, we gotta start off with Uncle Iroh.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The Dragon of the West. Oh man, I'll be honest. Like, gotta be kind of weird to say. Well, at least it's kind of weird in general. But like, as a kid, I took a lot of knowledge from the episodes, uh, that involved Iroh. all the way up until unfortunately his original voice actor passed away, Mako. Um, so I took a lot from the character, and that character is deeply rooted in me for pretty much for the writing. First off, the writing of this show fucking phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. At least on the dialogue side, I'll just speak for the dialogue side off rip. Storytelling, yeah, there was a decent bit of I call it padding, just just to drag it out a little bit, drag the story out a little bit. But no, the episodes with Ira were just, I always felt like every time I saw an episode, the episode came at like the right time for me. It was like the information that Ira was giving was something that I felt like I needed to hear in that moment in time, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Um, for me, the the one thing that stood the one episode that really stood out to me the most, that involved Iroh, I this is part of Zuko's arc where he's completely kind of said, screw the Fire Nation, fuck the Fire Nation. I need to find myself. It's where he's going on that journey of self discovery. I'm pretty sure this is around the time. This is right before he loses his firebending due to, I call it the Spider-Man effect or the Tobey Maguire effect. Just things within himself not being right and not being balanced. Um, and they're in like this really desert area. It's clear they're in the Earth Kingdom, and it was also around the time Iroh explained to him about. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it was the episode when Iroh was teaching him how to redirect lightning. Um, and he draws each element's symbol in the sand, and he starts explaining to Zuko that everything has a purpose, everything has a reason, and all things work together in balance and in harmony. He learned how to redirect lightning after from waterbending techniques, and that's when he showed them, yes, you can taking it's good to learn aspects of each element because they all benefit each other, and that episode really taught me a lot about balance and how, you got to make sure that everything you're doing is working together in unison in harmony, and that yourself is centered and balanced as well, which is, clearly something that's easier said than done, because we all have our own, demons and bullshit that we're fighting every day, dealing with every day. So it really gave me a really strong lesson on ba- balance, and that's also his way of explaining why the avatar is so important. That's just one of the episodes that stuck out to me the most about Iroh. What about you?
So there's several episodes that stood out the most to me with Iroh. One of my favorites would have to be the one where he was imprisoned in the second book. Excuse me. No, no, no. Was it the second book? Yes, it was the second book. No, well, it was the third book. Excuse me. When he was in prison in the third book, and he broke
Yeah.
out. That's that.
What was that, brother? You cut out there.
West. You were the great general,
Run
the
it back.
undefeated. They said that they were
Yeah,
mocking him,
run that
calling.
back first. You cut out.
They said that how they were mocking him, saying that he was the great general, the undefeated dragon of the West. And then out of nowhere,
Mhm.
he starts training like a madman and winds up escaping the prison.
Mm.
Remember, Zuko runs in to go get him, and everything's destroyed, everything's demolished. He runs in, grabs the one guard. Where is he? Where's my uncle? He's like he broke himself out. He's like, I've never seen anything like it. He was like a one-man army. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little cheated that we never actually got to see the havoc he caused, because there was the one female guard who I believe, memory serves me correctly, was voiced by Serena Williams,
Yes. Yep.
who was really kind to him, was really nice to him, brought him extra rations, brought him extra portions of food, and he goes, thank you, I appreciate this. You've been a real godsend to me these last few days. He was like, but you're not looking well. I think you should take the rest of the day off. And she's like, oh no, I'm fine. It's no problem. He goes, no. I really think that you should go home. I don't think you want to be here this afternoon. And he like shoots her this look, and she's like, yeah, I think I'll take the rest of the day off.
Yeah, I love that scene. It's like, hey, listen to me. Listen closely. You really should take some time off. You want to be here. You want to be with your family. You want to be a part of this. um, nah, so that moment, I agree. That moment is bittersweet for me. Um, because one, it's like that's it's like awesome. It's like I said, that scene, it was awesome. It's awesome storytelling. But where the bitter side comes in is that the reason why they had to do it that way is because the voice actor passed away before on before that. I'm pretty sure that was the situation. Um, and when we do end up seeing Iroh again, which is for me, one of the heaviest hitting moments and in animated history, in my animated history. We all know it, we all love it, but we all hate it at the same time. It's also bittersweet. When he goes to his son's grave and sings leaves on the vine. That yeah, that was actually the moment that they had brought in the new voice actor to voice Iroh. And the artwork, the drawing of Iroh's son Mako, who was on the they had his photo up there. That was actually a drawing of the voice actor, who and because he never mentioned Iroh's son's name until that moment, and they decided to give Iroh's son, name him after the actual voice actor Mako, which they later on in Legend of Korra pay homage again by naming an Earthbender after him, Mako.
Firebender.
No, I'm Firebender. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Earthbender. That's Bolin. The Firebender, Mako. Mm. So, no, yeah, that whole series of events is definitely it's definitely bittersweet. It definitely bittersweet, but it definitely that that is definitely a moment that has been kind of seared into my brain for a long time as well. So I definitely agree with you on that one. So let's dive a little bit more into his character. Um, First off, Iroh is the older brother of Fire Lord Ozai.
Correct.
He was an absolute beast. And well, first off, before I say what I'm saying, he's an absolute beast overall, both old and young. But from what we hear and what we learn throughout the show is that he was pretty tyrannical, pretty an absolute monster. during the war, during the first parts of the war, um underneath Ozai's rule, actually a little bit before Ozai as well. And he was one of the one of the biggest proponents in pretty much in their conquering of the nations. And unfortunately his one downfall was he was unsuccessful in taking Ba Sing Se. And that's what the Battle of Ba Sing Se is that it's also where he ends up losing his son. So that moment is something that makes him start to be like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I spent so much time on this war, from this war. I put my son out there on the front lines and end up losing him, and this war is not worth it. And this is now where we see a more zen uh Dragon of the West.
Well, I always took it as one of those things where he was always Zen. I just think it was one of those things like where through like 300, like Xerxes had all these quote unquote slaves, very few soldiers, and then once he fought the Spartans made him lose all taste for war. Like you know what I mean? Like so it's like it was basically like the definition of a Pyrrhic victory.
Hmm.
Like he basically, even if he had broken through the walls and got into Ba Sing Se, the second, I believe his son's name was Lu Ten, remember me correctly? I want to say the second he lost his son, it was like, yeah, this isn't worth it no more. And then it's like, and then he was devastated and retreated. And in his retreat, that's what actually leads Ozai to try to take the throne out from under him. And then this is what leads to the whole the fuckery that happens with Zuko's mom and all that ignorance.
Yeah, that was a hell of a lot of ignorance right there. I'm gonna stand by what I said, and I think it was like first episode, and when we were talking about Aaron, I'm gonna stand by what I said. Ozai picked Zuko's mother specifically just to bear a child. I'm definitely saying it nicer than when I when I first said it. Definitely just picked her just to bear a child because she was Sozin's granddaughter.
Oh, wasn't the daughter
Mhm.
technically, wasn't she Roku's granddaughter?
Mm, not Sozin's. I don't. I'm sorry, Roku's granddaughter, not Sozin.
Yeah. They're Sozin's kids, technically.
Yes, they. Yeah, yes, yes. Iroh and Ozai are Sozin's kids. Uh, yeah. Sorry about that. Whew. Like I said, it's been a very long week. We're starting a little bit later than usual. Um, so yeah, I'm a little off my game today. But yeah, I strongly feel that way. I sure strongly feel that, and I feel like Iroh knew the bullshit that he was on with that, which also drove even a deeper wedge between them. So I feel like that wedge between them had already been started even before Iroh lost his son. Mm. And as we see, this is what drives, besides the fact that Zuko is his nephew. um I believe Iroh he saw Zuko as a chance at redemption for himself, for pulling his son into a war. And he feels responsible for his son's death. So he sees Zuko as a chance to atone for that, and also doing so, possibly saving his life.
Mm.
On top of the rest of the rest of the world's life, but more so aim, so this is my nephew. I already fucked up once with my son by instilling this level of hate and anger inside of him. I'm not going to allow it to happen to my nephew. He's a good person. He has a good heart that's just been corrupted by dark minds. It's been blackened by the fire of Ozai.
Yeah, like that whole thing, like where Zuko goes to the Fire Lord and he speaks to him, and he was like, this whole idea of us using the war to spread our greatness to the other nations. He's like, it was our way. It was. He said using the war was us sharing our greatness with the other nations. He's like, what a beautiful lie that was.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Yeah.
it's one of those things like where, and especially if you grow up in the war, because it was you got told X, Y, and Z that this was all your duty and everything else that you're supposed to go fight, live, and die for the nation. But if you look at the shit that's happened, like you said, Iroh with his son, Zuko quote unquote losing his honor, then even Zuko speaking out against the plan that was going to sacrifice the unit that basically becomes his crew on his ship, like
that becomes his unit. Yeah. That was crazy. I don't think that's never said in the animated version, but I
Joe,
do
no, I don't
remember
believe
that's
so.
one thing I did like. Yeah, I do like the fact that they expanded on that and actually built the story behind that in the live action. I did like that about the live action. There was a lot of downfalls in the live action. But they'd also, well, I feel like for every one thing they did wrong, they did one thing right.
Power, gonna
My bad, my bad. How am I now? How am I now?
be still choppy.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Lima Charlie.
Lima Charlie. All right. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of technical difficulties in this episode. We've been having issues throughout the weekend with it, but we're going to keep we're going to keep pushing through. We're going to keep pushing through. But yeah. So in the show, I was saying in the show, the live action, I feel like in the live action, a lot of the times is for every one thing they did right, they did two things wrong. In this case, I felt like it was a one for one. It was a one for one. For every one thing they did right, they did one thing wrong, or something that didn't make sense along the lines. But that is one thing I felt like they did very well, that they added their own spin or taste to. And I enjoyed that a lot because that really gave perspective to like holy shit, like they really had it. They really homeboy stepped back and was like, oh wait. He saved our lives. Ozai was about to throw us to the fucking wolves, and it was Zuko speaking out that saved our lives and said that my life and the lives of all my men. I I take it back. He's not just some spoiled brat that wants to make daddy proud. It's more than that.
'Cause that's what you would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the way they paint his character. Um, but again, I like that story for the animated. He's a kid that all he wants is daddy's love. All he wants is daddy's respect. He wants to be seen as an equal. Um, but with within time, has that change of heart after seeing the shit that his daddy is really up to, and he's like, "Hold up, I don't
But
want to be like this guy."
it's also one of those things like where if you're a son that's had to fight for your father's affection or love or approval, it's a very hard path to walk. Like
Oh,
you ever
trust
seen the
me,
Prince?
I know very much. I know that one very very well.
So you ever seen the Prince of Egypt?
Yes.
Like he got told his entire life all it takes is one weak link to break a mighty chain. Don't be the weak link. Like it's literally what his father told him. And it's like how you see Moses come back after hearing the word of God. He tells him, let my people go. It's like, this is, and this isn't, is this a joke? Is this you being funny? Like, okay, if you acknowledge yourself as one of them, I'll treat you like one of them. But it's also one of those things, like I said, it's a real dual-sided problem because it's like I see and understand the expectations and the aspects he had to live up to. Like you have to do X, Y, and Z to keep up the tradition that's been going on for how many years? Granted, the narrative changed because of what Sozin did, but still.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, I understand that very well on a personal level. I understand that very, very well. And then, you know, as and then looking at and then making the realization that like he wasn't really the chosen one at all. You know what I mean? He wasn't the one that his father really wanted to be on to be at the top with him anyways. It was whichever one was stronger. He didn't pick him just because, oh, that's my son and I love him and I want him to be in this spot. No, he only picked him because at that moment, at that time, he was the strongest out of his kids. And once that failed to be, once he stopped being of use to him, he exiled him, threw him to the side, and started grooming his sister and
Well,
using his failures as fuel for her fire. All pun
well, I
intended.
was well. If you're looking at the live action version, yes. From the animated version, that wasn't the case. Like he
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
says that Azula was born a
yeah.
prodigy. My father says Azula was born a prodigy. I was lucky to be born. Yeah, he says Azula was lucky to be born a prodigy. I was
Yep.
lucky just to be born. So she already had the makings to have all that extra shit and get handed to her and everything else. I think, and that's another thing too, because if you look at the live action series, I have a hard time believing this Azula is that Azula.
Agreed.
Like that actress, not and once again, I'm not knocking her performance by no means because we really haven't got a chance to see her cut loose or anything. But from what I'm seeing, she's not as cold. She's not as calculating. She's not as dangerous as the Azula we know and love.
I definitely second that. I definitely second that completely. And I would like to see the live action Ozula get to that point. My other thing is, and again, not knocking the actress's performance, the actor's performance. Because I felt like a lot of them did really, really well. I felt like it was a little shaky and like maybe like the first 2 to 3 episodes, but later as the show progressed, I feel like their performance got significantly better, especially the actor that was playing Sokka. I felt like he embodied Sokka to the best of his abilities, to the best that the writers allowed him to embody him. Um, so kudos to him on that. But I just don't feel like that this actor is gonna like she may be able to pull off the cold calculating Azula. But I don't think she'll be able to portray the uh how do I want to say the unhinged Azula that comes later.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm gonna say it this way, and again, no disrespect to her whatsoever. She is too fucking adorable to be. I can't see that from her. She is still adorable. Her cheeks are so pudgy and like I'm sorry, I just can't. I just can't. And again, not knocking, not degrading her in any way whatsoever, but just Azula in the animated series, she had that resting bitch face.
She had that dog in her.
Yeah, yeah. Just by the looks of it, you can tell that like, oh, I don't think I want to get on the wrong side of this chick. But live action Azula again, pointing out not knocking, not degrading, not taking anything away from her and her performance. I just feel like it's not gonna translate well visually in the live action. Unless they do some kind of drastic changes to her. Because again, I think she's absolutely adorable.
And the other thing was, I always took it that at least from what I was seeing, that Azula was older than him. And I think the only reason why, I thought the reason why Zuko was next for the throne was because he was the male. Like I always took it that Azula was older than him.
You know what? I think you might be right on that. I think you definitely might be right on that. And in the animated series, that's what fuels her fire so much because she's like, I was born first. I'm stronger than him. I'm smarter than him. I'm faster than him. I was the firstborn. That throne should be mine. But he's getting it just because he's a guy. Yeah, yeah. So I always took it as that was what fueled her fire as well. And the animated in the animated. So at what point can we just start calling Avatar The Last Airbender and Korra anime? Maybe not Korra, but I feel like Avatar The Last Airbender had all the makings to really be an anime, except for the art style.
Wait, what was wrong with Dark Style?
Because the art style is an anime. So
Oh,
you gotta
right.
remember, anime isn't a type of show. Anime is the art style that the show is made in. That's what makes an anime. Um,
But I still count it as an anime though.
I
I think
personally do as well.
I think of it as an American based anime. Like if it was like, but it's not. Yeah, no, I would definitely still classify it as one.
Yeah, I definitely would too. I because it has, like I said, it has all the makings of an anime aside from the art style. From the classic anime tropes, the dramatic, power ups, dramatic transformations and shit like that, to the, you know, love interest level of things. I just, it's very anime esque. So I personally would classify it as an anime, even though the art style itself is more Western cartoon. So I mean, I don't even know. Is there a sub genre called American anime?
What else would you technically put into that category?
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing. I haven't read because there are, so there's, there is Chinese anime, which those are fucking crazy. The fight scenes in that rival Japanese anime. I feel like Japanese anime has just now gotten their fight scenes to where the animation on Chinese anime are crazy, crazy. Um, so I guess why wouldn't there be American anime to just, yeah, I feel like, I don't know for sure, but Netflix came out with a show called Knights of Sidonia. And a part of me wants, even though it was one of those 3D, three-dimensional animes, computer generate type shits. Visually not stunning in any way whatsoever, but like it was still an anime. So I don't know. I don't know the origins of the show, like who made it and stuff. But a part of me wants to classify that as American anime as well. Um, I don't know. I haven't really ran into anything else that really felt like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like even Korra felt completely. Korra felt more like an American cartoon than an anime.
Nah. Well, So the issue with that is because Korra is more political. So like, don't get me wrong, the last Airbender was very political also, from Sokka being sexist and them dealing with sexism to them dealing with responsibility to them dealing with with the horrors of war and how it transcends time. So that's one of the reasons why I think that they toned some of the stuff down they did with the characters, because at the end of the day, these niggas are at war.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at Daniel Radcliffe's Harry Potter in the first one, then look at him in the sixth one, like you
Yeah.
see the progression and how everything weighed on him. So it's like for Aang to still keep that whole cheerful, you know, playful mentality. I get it that he didn't let shit change him, but that's not realistic.
I mean,
You
to go on the other side of that. Sorry to cut you off. It's like the whole point of the show and the whole point of the Avatar is to continuously promote hope. So the Avatar has to be hopeful, and that's what fuels that his cheerful disposition, even though the world's crumbling down around him, is because the Avatar is supposed to embody hope.
but it's also one of those things where you can
So I
hope
think
all you,
that's the only thing that kind of negates your level of realism.
but I still kind of can't agree with that because you can hope all you want, but it's like
Good.
you put all your expectations on this one person, and then a child at that who was supposed to change, who was literally supposed to rewrite the course of history and change the course of the entire world. So it's like, yeah, we can quote unquote hope. Like once again, I want to be a member of the X-Men, but as an adult, joining the Brotherhood makes more sense.
I would say as an adult black man in America, I'd add a little more specifics onto that. Me, an adult black man in America, joining the Brotherhood makes sense.
Like
Um,
once, like they said, my mom, like I'm gonna tell you, like Big Bear told me. Shout out to my master Exodus. Uh, is Charles Xavier a man of peace or is he Uncle Tom? Is Magneto a terrorist or is he the militant revolutionaries people need?
that is again, it definitely does make sense, but like for the story that they were going for the story that they were going for him, but we also see those moments where that hope wanes. We also see where his light dims, at certain parts throughout the story. So we definitely see those moments, even with Zuko. We see those moments where his fire did. There's a whole point where he loses hope, where he loses his fire bending altogether. So literally his literal light has dimmed to the point of non-existence. His fire to keep going has completely extinguished. We see these moments throughout the show. Um, the point of the show is that no matter how dark your darkest hour is, there's still a light somewhere at the end of the tunnel. Because without dark, there cannot be light. Without light, there cannot be dark. And that's what brings in the yin and yang of that balance that the avatar is supposed to hold. And that's also why, because I know you don't like the fact that Aang didn't murk Ozai the moment he got the chance, is because the understanding of the Avatar, they're supposed to balance both light and dark, and Ozai would be the dark. And if you get rid of dark, there could be no light. Without light, there's no dark. He had to keep him alive to keep that balance.
Nah, nah. Uh, what was it? What was it they said? If an innocent person murders a murderer, there's not one less murderer in the world. So I get it from that aspect, but it's also one of those things like where, like the Punisher said, he's like, you put them down, they get back up. I put them down, they stay down.
Granted, but I feel like that's
But it's
also
also
the
one of
militant in you as well. I believe that's also the militant in you speaking as well.
but no, but like once again, like for example, we compared the situations. Like look at Aang letting Ozai live and everything that progressed after that. And we'll cover the stuff that happens after the actual initial cartoon in a later point in time.
Hmm.
Now, look at Zahir and when he kills the Queen of the Earth Kingdom, he quote unquote liberates the city and then becomes responsible for the Earth Kingdom having the worst decade or worst dictator it's seen in a century.
All right, I see that as well. Mm. I also feel like different times call for different measures.
This is
You know,
true too.
in Aang's time, they had been at war for 100 years, so he needed to show them that there can be peace.
Peace is a lie.
You
There's
know.
only passion.
Yes, this is true. Um, and as you can see, that peace is a lie because darkness always rears its head at some point or another. You know, what I mean, that peace may have been enjoyable for that moment in time or what they thought was peace, but there was still darkness brewing leading up to Korra. And look at all the darkness. Look at all the shit that she went through, back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? From Amon to her uncle Unalak to Kavir to Zahir in the Red Lotus to Kavira, like back to back. I mean, I guess there was a 5 year, there was like a 5 year time gap, or at least a few year time gap, and with between one of the seasons to the other season. Um, but again, still like back to back to back to like being poisoned and not being able to use her bending to literally being killed during the Avatar state, which completely broke the chain, to having to be revived by her psychotic killer cousins, well, being killed by her psychotic killer cousins. Like, Korra went through some shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like all that darkness that was brewing within that time, from the time that he defeated Ozai to the time Korra left the left the White Lotus and went to Republic City. All that darkness ended up and she literally had to take on the literal embodiment of that evil. She literally had to fight Vatu. I'm sorry, he didn't have to do all that. All he had to do was fight a psychopathic ruler. This woman literally went to the spirit world and had to fight the literal embodiment of that evil. So I'd say, yeah, peace is definitely a lie, even within this, because peace is not long lived. So the question is it truly peace? If it's not, definite.
That's a good question.
And I
But
feel like no, no, go ahead.
peace is never definite. That's one of the interesting things because were you ever a Gundam Wing fan?
I tried, but I was a little too young to when Gundam came out. I was a little too young to grasp the concept of it. I like the fact that it had a bunch of cool suits, but the story would just too advanced for me when it came out. Because remember, we got there's a few years between me and you.
Okay, so it was supposed to be that, mankind had moved to the stars, and it was supposed to be that they had colonized space, and now there was a group called OZ, which was basically controlling the colonies and manipulating them, and basically ruled them with an iron fist. OZ was stationed on Earth. Now the colonies rebelled and basically sent 5 soldiers to liberate them with something called Operation Meteor. Now, those 5 soldiers basically fought against OZ and the corruption that was going on Earth. And to anyone out there listening, who if I'm missaying anything, please correct me or please tell me later on. The thing that I always thought was cool was once the initial season was over, there was a movie that they did after it that was called The Endless Waltz. And it was supposed to be that one of them became disillusioned with the victory. Can you truly call peace, where soldiers that all they knew how to do was fight gets sat by the wayside? Can you truly call peace at the expense of innocent life peace? Like he basically questioned everything that had happened up to that point to achieve this quote unquote victory that was basically a beautiful lie. And the reason why it was called the Endless Waltz is because one of the characters says how war it's in itself is an endless dance. The 3 beats are war, peace, and revolution, and how it keeps going on in an endless circle. Like there's always going to be some kind of fight. There's always going to be some established peace. There's always going to be something that rises from said peace that leads to another action.
And that's exactly that's and wow, shit, that plays into what I was gonna say next. Um, but just the idea that that there is an avatar shows that their peace will not ever be long lived. Because if the avatar pops up, that means that there's some shit that's about to go down that's about to break that peace. It's an endless cycle.
hmm And the wild part with the avatars is that 9 times out of 10, the avatar usually spends a part of their life cleaning up the last avatar's mess.
Yeah, and it's interesting because in Aang's situation, he was kind of cleaning up his own mess.
Well,
Well, no,
yes,
he was cleaning up Roku's mess and his own mess.
yes.
Damn. And then Korra definitely there was a few things that she had. It was like Amon was a part of Aang's mess,
hmm
and I don't really think aside from Amon and Zahir, I guess but I feel like it was more the White Lotus situation with them with the Red Lotus. Um, I don't think that was more so Aang imprisoning them or beating them, imprisoning them. Right? Or am I wrong?
Say that again.
With the Red Lotus, the Red Lotus's situation, was it Aang that imprisoned him, or was it White Lotus saying, "Yo, listen, y'all too tyrannical. We got to put y'all
No,
down." Sure.
the Red Lotus got imprisoned when Korra was a baby, so Aang had already died.
Yeah, Aang. Alright, so it was the White Lotus that handled them. So yeah. The only thing that Korra really had to clean up was Amon, which was a byproduct of Aang taking Amon's father's bending and imprisoning him. Or did he imprison him and then he got out
If
and
memory
then he
serves
went
me
to live a real
correctly.
life? Yeah. Um. So I feel like yeah, that's the only thing that Korra really had to clean up. Um. But again, also different times. Korra's story was just completely different from Aang's. I don't really see. There's not like there's like the basic similarities of them just being an avatar, but as in story wise, it's completely different. Like the battles he had to fight, the way of fighting those battles was very different. Um, I also definitely Korra was way more with the shit. Like Korra, I feel like no matter how hard Aang or how far Aang got pushed, he wouldn't take a life. Korra, on
Pussy.
the other hand, I felt like she had a limit. I feel like Korra had a limit where that she would, if you push her far enough, she'd end up taking a life.
Yeah, nah, she was definitely with the shits.
Um,
She's like, oh, you took one look at me,
I
thought I was a female, thought shit was sweet. Nah, nigga, that ain't the case. Ha ha. Watch this.
yep, yep. Watch me freeze all the liquids in your body. Don't play. Definitely don't play. Play with my family. Don't play with my friends. It's about to be a problem. Um, but yeah, so I definitely feel like there there has to be writing. There has to be a there has to be a line for your main character. You know what I mean? There has to be a line that they don't cross and a line that they do cross. And that's what builds that the character development. You know what I mean? Um, they're feeling like, hey, listen, I'll never do this. Character ends up doing it, feeling bad about it, but there has to be a line that a limit to the fuckery that they allow the character to get into. And I feel like again, Aang being only a child, they wouldn't have allowed him to cross the line to take a life because he's a child.
Well, that and they were
Korra, on
on
the other hand,
Nickelodeon.
well, Korra was on Nickelodeon as well, and we literally watched Zahir suck the life out of the queen of Earth Kingdom.
Yo, he choked that bitch with no hands.
No hands. Took her soul with no hands.
Yeah, he went full swing
Like
tongue on that one.
for real.
So
So
it's mine.
I oh my god. The live action the original live action gets so much shit, but I really feel like it was quite on point for the original
Are
one.
we talking about the M Night
Mortal
Shyamalan
Kombat
movie?
live action. No, no, no. I'm talking about the live
Oh,
action Mortal Kombat movie.
oh. No, that first one was actually I thought it was done very well for the time and what they were given.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. It just gets so much shit, and it's like it really shouldn't because it was a movie where anybody, whether you're a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan or just getting into it, you could watch it and be able to keep up with the story, and you know who's who, what's going on, and be able to keep up with the story. Annihilation, that was an M Night Shyamalan movie.
Annihilation. Well, I actually like a few M Night Shyamalan movies, but Annihilation should have been two movies, and it shouldn't have been so condensed. They put too much shit into one movie, and we suffered for it. Like once again, if you didn't know who certain characters were, you were completely lost.
Oh yeah, I was lost as a fuck. I was lost, completely lost. Especially when I'm sorry, not Moon Knight. Fucking Night Wolf pops up, and
Yeah,
right after Night Wolf, Jade pops up. I was like, who the fuck is this? I had no clue who Jade was. Um, uh, Night Wolf, I knew who he was because I love wolves, as you can see from my logo. I love wolves, so I was always interested in his character and also being part Native American myself. I really resonated with his character, so I knew who he was. But when Jade popped up, I was like, "Who the fuck is this bitch? Who is this fine little thing coming out here? Who is this? Is this about to become a movie that I'm not supposed to watch at this age? Um,
Yeah, she was like,
I probably still shouldn't have been watching Mortal Kombat at that age.
yeah, the way she
Yeah,
popped up in the scene where she takes the coat
but
off and she's in the fucking the loincloth, she might as well been like, this pussy's yours if you want it. Like, you saw Liu Kang's face,
yeah.
he was like, like,
I
no,
don't know.
no, I'm with Katana. I'm with Katana. Katana's mine.
Is like, I don't know. Was this in the script? Is this part of the script? Is this what happens? I didn't know I signed up for an X-rated movie. The first one wasn't X-rated. Why is this one X-rated? What's going on? What's going on? I mean, turn around real quick. All right, you know what? I'm with it. Never mind. Fuck the questions.
Like,
Oh
let
man.
me
Oh,
stretch real quick. Like, baby, I'm about to bicycle kick that box. Come here.
I was like, oh, and she comes with her own stripper pole. All right, I'm with this. I like this one.
Oh, God.
stripper pole built in. Okay, I don't have to buy anything. Installation not required. Oh man, but let's take a quick break. We're at the halfway mark. Let's hear for some amazing podcasters that are doing some amazing things within the nerd and blurred universe. Let's hear them out.
Going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with
We'll be
Midnight
right
Comics
back.
here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin, from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
And we're back. Level 7s, please definitely check them out. The Indie Breakdown by Midnight Comics, Roomful of Blurs by Lady Mandalore, Icarus Podcast by Icarus Comics. Check them out. They're doing some awesome things. We got other friends as well. We're working on getting some promos out there for you guys, so y'all can tune into them and see what they got going on. Absolutely amazing. Every last one of them. But yeah, so when it comes to, I feel like we didn't touch on a lot of firebenders. Let's see, we talked about Iroh, Zuko, Azula. We mentioned Ozai. Yeah, no, that's about four. That's about four. So now, when it comes to Earth, the element of Earth, the grounding element, what do you? First off, what is your takeaway on the concept of on earthbending?
Well, Earthbenders were always the most, I don't want to say the most proud, but they're the most, I feel that they're the most, not, see, I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. Like to me, they represented like the most the most structure within the Avatar universe.
Mm, break that down. What do you mean by that?
Like
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
they represent structure and strength. Like boxing say,
Mm-hmm.
how regardless of what was going on outside the walls, they always persevered. They always made sure their people were straight. There's no war in boxing say.
No, of
There's
course
no
not. There's no Warren Bossing say.
there's no war in boxing say. And then it's like even them waging war on the city, whether it had been Iroh and everything he did for months on end to Azula with the drill, like you never actually saw any dissent amongst the people. You never saw anything crazy going on. I mean, they had their issues between the higher and lower class, but you saw the strength and the pride of their people more, I think, than you did with the other nations. Like the water, you got to see it, but you like they were very gender based. So it's like the divide between male and females. And then the Fire Nation, they were basically breeding people to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to the Earth Kingdom, where it was like, you could live, grow, build, profit. My cabbages.
I will say, I most definitely, I definitely enjoyed. I like the fact that they brought the actual voice actor to play Cabbage Man. Yeah, the actor that plays Cabbage Man in live action is the actual voice actor who voices Cabbage Man. So I like that. I appreciated that heavy. Um, but no, I agree with you. There's definitely, and again, it makes sense for the element. It's grounded. It's structured. Um, and their innovation, and they're highly innovative as well. Um, with like how Earth bending, how they bended the Earth, so to speak. Um, and I don't want to say it. Um, I felt like when you look at a lot of Earthbenders, they're aside from Boomy, aside from King Boomy, they're all very grounded and calm characters. Especially when you look at Toph, even though she's blind, she's still connected, down to earth. She's always a voice of reason. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna do this. Let's go do that. She's like, guys, I don't think we should do that because of X, Y, and Z. But they listen? No. They continue on and do the dumb shit that they were told by Toph that they shouldn't do, and next thing you know, she ends up having to save their ass. Toph saves their ass a lot
I'm not
in the beginning.
surprised.
Yeah. So I've always seen it. I've always seen them as very calm type of characters. Um, not Zend, but very confident and strong, structured, and cool under pressure type characters.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that each I feel like each nation and each element, like the people really embodied attribute wise and characteristically that element. You look at the air nomads, they're kind of like carefree, relaxed. They just cared about chilling and learning and kind of just being chill as fuck, which is like air. Air calm, it flows, but when it's time for it to crash, it can absolutely demolish cities. Firebending. A lot of the characters that you see are they're hot headed, they're quick, they're down with the shits, they're ready to they're ready to fight. If when the time comes, Earth they're very calm, structured. Water they're very it's very relaxed and smooth flowing and connected and communal because water has the innate attribute to stick with water. And that's really kind of how the water tribe was. They stuck together. You see you see rain droplets or water droplets on a window. What do? They go to the next water droplet, next droplet, and they stick together. So I always found that cool within the Avatar universe that each character, depending on which element they're attributed to, their character reflects that certain traits of that element. I always found that kind of cool.
I agree. I agree.
Now with who would you say? All right, so I'll start. This off. My favorite Earthbending character, it's Toph. My favorite Earthbending character is Toph, hands down. Both young Toph and old Toph, and her daughters, they're they're hands on my favorite character because they're always with the shits. They're sarcastic as shit, but a lot of the time they're right about what they say. You know, I haven't seen an Earthbender kind of lie yet either.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
they say what's on their mind. They tell the truth, no matter how much it hurts your feelings.
I think
And
the thing I think the one thing that made Toph such a versatile character actually was the fact that she was blind because her perception was never based off what she could see. It was all based off what she could do.
mm,
So it was like, you get told, and essentially like the whole thing with her getting told, you're fragile, you can't quite do this, you're not capable. How her dad basically thought, she was made of glass and she was gonna break. So if anything, that gave her a reserve and made her stronger. As we
that's
talk about
100%.
and we talk
100%.
about like the Mamba mentality, or like Jordan, like oh, so you think you're better than me? Haha, I'm about to prove to you you're not.
Mm-hmm. It's it's called that go get it mentality. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. You got to go get it. And
Like,
that's something I strongly appreciated about her character. It was like, I may be blind, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do and getting and achieving what I want to achieve. Like that was her whole thing on how she learned earthbending. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. She went out, got lost, was found by the badger moles, and that's how she learned her earthbending.
right, because they were blind like her.
Mm-hmm. So, who would you say your favorite earthbender is?
So if I had to pick a favorite Earthbender besides Toph, mm, I'd have to give it to Kazan.
To who?
Gazan from the Red Lotus.
Yes. Yes. That is a very wise choice there. I
Like
100%. Yeah. Break him down.
him being a because Gazan was a member of the Red Lotus who served along Zahir and was one of his childhood friends and shared his idealism of the natural order of the society being chaos. That chaos was the natural order, and he was not only a gifted earthbender, he was also so skilled. And this is how I say this is one of the reasons why I say the elements bleed into one another, that he could actually lava bend. Like he could actually
Mm-hmm.
transform the rock into molten rock and manipulate it.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And again, Iroh told us from the beginning, all the elements blend together. That's what makes the Avatar so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's one of the first Earthbenders that we see lava bend.
He is.
I don't think we ever see Toph lava bend,
We don't, to my knowledge. The only other person we see lava bend is Bolin.
and that was a sheer accident the first time.
Yeah,
Because I'm
he
pretty
did it.
sure, like he wanted to make a wall. He was trying to build a wall, but like they were coming too fast, and next thing you know, it was lava, and he ends up shooting lava at her.
Oh, it goes back to when they were in prison. They got locked up, and
Mhm.
Mako, his brother, who was the firebender, wanted him to try to metal bend the bars because he was such a skilled earthbender. He's like, "Come on, you got this. Bowl in, bowl in, bowl in." And he tried, he couldn't do it. So he's like, "Shit." Then when they wound up being stuck in the I want to say it was an air temple that Gazan basically turned into a volcano, so they had to flee, and the lava was following them as he's earthbending a tunnel for them to escape. And then instead of he went to try to stop the lava and basically completely stopped it and redirected it. And he's like, "Bolin, you're a lava bender." He's like, "Yeah, I just figured that out."
Yeah, no, duh. I just saw it myself. I was there. I was there, bro. I was there. And that's another thing that's really cool. That we also didn't really see. That we didn't see at all in Aang's story is that siblings being born of different different elements.
No, I don't believe we did.
No, that was something new. That that Korra added to that. It was like, hold on, whoa, 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 whoa. Two people born of the same mother and father. Well, actually, no, we don't know if they have the same mother and father. They don't really talk about their parents too much.
Who, Bolin and Mako?
Yeah.
There was an episode where they talked about their parents because it was revealed that they ran into their cousin, and now they basically
Mm.
got to meet the rest of their family.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. But again, that's still really cool to see, two siblings, born of different elements from the same parents. But I'm pretty sure both parents were firebenders, right?
No, I want to say that their mother was from the Earth Kingdom and their father was from the Fire Nation.
Okay, so yeah, never mind. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, never mind. That makes sense. That makes sense. That make a lot of sense there.
I mean, the only other time we see that is with Katara and Aang.
Yeah. But again, also we see two children of each parent's respective elements, and then one child that has none, but eventually gets revealed that he is yeah, so Aang and Katara's kids are both of their elements. So it makes sense. So I don't think we've seen um you know children of like same element parents have different elements. Um shout out to EUC Chronicles. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we if you're just tuning in just now, we're finishing off our Avatar April, talking about everything from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Right now, we're breaking down fire bending and earth bending with a whole bunch of shit in between.
Let's see, because if you oh, I hadn't, I lost it. What was it you were saying right before you did that little promo?
Yeah, we haven't seen children of same element bending parents have different elements. So
Well, it
like
might also, yeah, that's sorry,
yo,
not to cut you off, but it might
uh,
also be one of those things like where you get told, you stay with your own kind. Like there might, because you have, especially with the war going on, that might not have been that uncommon because people in the Fire Nation might have only lived in the Fire Nation. As like people in Ba Sing Se didn't leave Ba Sing Se, so it's like that might not have been that uncommon. If anything, if you were dating someone from another tribe, my air quotations, you might have been committing like an act of treason, if not war. Like, well, what do you mean you're dating a Fire
yeah,
Nation general? Not in this house.
yeah, on some taboo type shit.
Yeah. Like, oh, you got a little
But
girlfriend, the Water Tribe.
but even mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what we do to Water Tribe, them waters with the hard R at the end around here.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm just saying it could be on some shit like that. Instead of
Let's see.
racist, they were bendist.
Oh my God. Sweet Christmas.
And you can see Amon as like a Malcolm X type character. We gonna get what's ours by any means necessary. Even if we gotta take your bending away to make sure we on even playing fields.
And mom's such a hypocrite.
He
So hold
definitely
on.
was.
Hold on. So yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things too, is because like you said, the airbenders were all but gone. So it might have been one of those things like, nah, you want to stay with your own kind. Especially because people really didn't travel like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you could have flown from Ba Sing Se to the Fire Nation capital on the back of on a bison, or if you were someone who could use your chi or travel like the way Toph did, where she pushed herself along the earth like she was surfing. But it's one of those things where that's not necessarily realistic because you can only go so far before you're in enemy territory.
That's very true. But now, if you look at Korra, Legend of Korra, where everybody was fucking with everybody, again, you see the children are giving attributes of each of the parents. I feel like it would be interesting to see like let's see, two earthbenders give birth to a waterbender. The father's like, the fuck is this? The fuck is this? You been out here splashing in somebody else's water? What's going on?
Like, whose child is this race traitor? Like, that's the type of argument that's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's up in here bending your fluids? Huh?
That shit
I know it
sounds
wasn't me because I'm an
crazy.
earthbender.
That shit sounds
Yeah, it sounds
crazy.
wild. I didn't think about how wild this sounded until I said it. As soon as I said it, I was like, damn, bro.
All right.
But nah, definitely like all the doctors looking like, are you sure this is your baby, sir? You sure this is your baby? Because like we pulled the baby out, but it's still wrapped in water. The embryonic fluids are still wrapped around this baby. I don't see not a rock in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So I'm
Meanwhile,
supposed to be rock. I'm supposed to be rocking your world, baby. You're out here flowing with the ocean.
meanwhile, you got the chick in the next room who's giving birth, and it causes an earthquake.
She just looks up at him. Uh, whose world was you rocking? Because it sure wasn't mine. That was a whole ass argument. Oh goddamn. Oh goddamn. That's bad. Oh, that's bad. But no, like that should be crazy. That shit would be really crazy. Two earthbenders give birth to a firebender and a waterbender.
Like, can you explain to me what happened here? I swear I've only been with you. I've been faithful. Bitch, his DNA says otherwise.
Their bending says otherwise. Motherfuckers sitting there on Maury embossing, say sitting there on Maury Povich type show.
Like, daddy, I want a Zippo. I ain't your daddy.
You better talk to your mother and figure out what waterbender she was out here fucking. What waterbender she was out here fucking with, flowing with the ocean to make your little waterbending ass. It's in there. So. Why do you feel like the child's not yours, sir?
Oh,
My
here's the
family
thing.
only gives birth to earthbenders.
Like, you see this bitch? Watch this.
Mhm.
See, yeah, snap my fingers,
You only give
fire.
birth to
Snap my fingers, fire. Now watch. He snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden the nurse like giggles. Yeah, see, that ain't my doing.
uh, my family gives birth to earthbenders. This child is a waterbender. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense that baby's mine and they out here bending water. I only bend earth. I can't even bend metal. I'm an earthbender out here bending earth and shit like that. Daddy, can I have a cup of water? Get it yourself.
Like I was just telling you, I was thirsty. Fuck your thirst, little nigga.
Bend your spit. Bitch. Bend your spit.
Like, why does daddy hate me, mommy? Your father's just stressed at work.
That's at work. That's at work. That's a damn. That's that's some shit. But don't worry, honey. You did keep acting like that. I'm gonna teach you how to blood bend. Get that motherfucker to do what you want to do. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Damn. Bloodbenders are the ratchet bitches of the Avatar universe.
Probably. I mean, I was
Girl,
never
I
taught.
got my man. I got my man out here to do right. It's like, girl, I got my man. Man, he thought he was going out with the boys tonight. I was like, nope. Made his ass walk right back to the couch. Only thing you snacking on tonight is this pussy. That's wild.
Okay.
That's wild.
He's like, yeah, guys. Like I was all dressed to go out. I had everything I needed. Next thing I know, ta-da! Oh, like ta-da! Ta-da!
Ow. Man, what happened, bro? What happened, man? She made my ass sit down. What you mean? Listen, man, she would have been in my ass. She blood bending me. What? She blood bending you? Man, you know how these bitches be.
Yeah. Bro, she just tied me up and she waterboarded me with the good stuff. And I was just.
I couldn't do nothing after that, homie. Blah, 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 blah. I was out here finding Nemo, nigga.
Oh, I was looking. Oh, I was looking.
I was looking. Did you ever find Nemo? No. No, I never found Nemo. I thought it was done. She bloodbended me, made me go for another 3-4 rounds. I can't remember. I passed out halfway through. Most I could do was put an earth barrier around the rest of my body. But even then, she stopped me from doing that halfway through.
So what is
I've been with
this?
this bitch for 5 years. Didn't know she was a chi bender. This bitch bending my ass. I thought I was the man in the situation. Hell no, she bending me over. Bro,
Slow
you got
down.
diddled? You got diddled? I got diddled.
No, he said diddled. He said diddled.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, bloodbenders is catching cases left and right. Forget about bloodbending. That's why bloodbending is illegal. That's why it's illegal, because it's considered sexual assault.
Yeah, boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but you promised me another 2-3 rounds. Babe, I'm tired. I just can't do it. I gave it my all. You know, you didn't feel them tremors? The tremors was going on? I'm getting my rounds, bitch. Have a nigga screaming like Marlon Wayans in the back of that mail truck and don't be a menace.
Ah!
Mm. Oh man, damn, we got way off. I wouldn't even say way off. We definitely got off subject, but damn.
It happens.
Yeah, wow. I think that was worse than Winnie the Pooh being a chronic masturbator. Wow. Damn. Damn, that was worse than the Kirby theory.
Kirby's a clitoris.
Yeah. Yep. He's a self-pleasuring clitoris.
I'm just saying. If you look at the stuff he does, it all makes sense.
I say self-pleasuring because he can suck himself.
Whoa. Oh my God.
He is a clitoris. He's a clitoris.
He said he can suck himself. That shit sounded crazy. Ah!
He is a little round pink motherfucker. What do you think's gonna happen?
That another one of the many Sega characters is going to violate him one day.
No, he does the violating.
And yet it all makes sense.
Somehow it all makes sense. All makes sense. No, Kirby, I'm good. I don't want any tonight. Fire! It's like I said, fire! That's the only noise the thing it makes. Fire!
Sweet Christmas.
Like I said, don't buy all weeks. Get sucked up. Stop playing.
That shit sounds wild.
Bro, it is. This entire conversation has been wild for the last 10 minutes. This has been a 10-minute wild ass conversation. This whole shit has just went into the gutter. And I don't know how to bring it back.
I wonder whose fault that is. I said, I wonder whose fault that is.
Oh, it's definitely 100%. No, that's both of ours. We were definitely 50-50 on this one. Normally, it's just me. But nah, this is definitely 50-50. You want to talk? You want to yell at Deso? You want to yell at Deso last episode about encouraging me? He said nothing the whole damn episode. Really, you encouraged the shit out of this one.
I listen. You brought up Winnie the Pooh. You brought up the yellow pants and the red shirt. You brought up the jar of honey, the sticky hands, and then the chronic motion. You're the one who brought that shit up. All right. I ain't say nothing about none of that.
Oh,
Next thing you know, you're like, oh, you
this conversation went left before that. This conversation went left before I even brought up the Honey Potter.
Oh
God! You're a masturbator, Winnie. This conversation went left. We started off with an Avatar and ended somewhere else.
The Honey Potter. That shit's hilarious.
It said, "You're a wizard, Harry." Oh my god! Nah, that's what I need. Since Winnie the Pooh is public domain, I need to see somebody make a Harry Potter-esque Winnie the Pooh storyline with Winnie the Pooh being the boy who lived.
So we're gonna have a small boy chronically masturbating. Now I'm good.
For all you corn producers out there, I'll say that just so YouTube doesn't flag us. Corn producers out there, hey, think about it. That'll be a nice parody. It'd be a good parody.
I don't know if I can co-sign that, but I hear what you're saying. Oh God, we're going to hell for this.
I'm just trying to make sure I get the best seat. I was making sure I get the best seat at the apocalypse. That's all. I'm just waiting. Making sure I get the best seat.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going. I'm just making sure they fluff my pillow.
Whoa.
Make sure there's some kind of stripper there.
Who's fluffing your pillow? What about a stripper?
Listen, my room in hell. I'm making sure. I'm just trying to make sure it got an AC. My pillow is always fluffed, and that there's at least one stripper a week.
Oh, so you're trying to bend your Michael Lowry shit. Trying to have an event in the house?
Hey, listen. I know I'm going. I already know I'm going. I'm just trying to make it the most pleasurable situation possible.
Said Yvette. It's like she massages shit.
Men in Black what? I'm sorry, not Men in Black. Bad Boys what? Sorry, the Svedka's starting to kick in now. Oh my god, that was good. That was good. I'm sourly waiting for number 4.
I mean, it looks good. The last one looked good. The one before that one looked good. But it's like with such a time gap, I'm not sure if it's gonna matter.
Yeah, they're literally just doing it just to finish off the storyline from 3, and then they're done. This is gonna be the end of the Bad Boys franchise.
I mean, I would hope so. That would make sense.
Yeah, because like I think Will could keep going, but Martin
No,
can't.
I think they're both a little too past their prime, but that's just me.
I mean, but Will's still dropping movies, and he's still keeping himself in shape and shit. Martin, on the other hand, Martin done Kirby'd out. Martin then became like a black Kirby. He just not body shaming or anything, but he just can't move like he used to move. Because they're both in their 50s now.
I blame Big Mama's house.
I wouldn't mind another Big Mama's house.
I said I blame Big Mama's house.
Oh, you blame Big Mama's house. Oh. Well, you know what? Let's get into that. We still got time to get back on the Avatar shit. So let's get into that real quick. Why do you blame Big Mama's house?
You know where I'm going with this.
Bring it on.
The second that
Rock
man
me.
got heavy set and got put in that dress, and then it's like they wanted to do another one, then they did another one. Like, is that really something that needed a franchise? I don't think so.
I think 2 was enough. I feel like 2 was pushing it, but 2 wasn't bad. But then they dropped 3. Nah, I feel like the last Big Mama house. I'm a big advocate for Mama Payne, right? That was her name, Mama Payne. And Medea. I would be down to see a crossover with that. I think that shit would be fucking hilarious.
Mm.
I think that would be absolutely hilarious.
It's got its potential.
It definitely does. They just got to do it before. One, they got to do it before Tyler Perry comes out the closet, and 2, before Martin gets too fat and too old to move.
He said before he comes out the closet. That's funny.
Yeah.
Say Power, I don't think you can say things like that.
I'm sorry, Boondocks hit that shit on the fucking nose.
He said, "Hey man, can I please just have some ass?" He said,
Listen,
"All right."
we pride ourselves on not being.
What? He said, "You created this whole gay theatrical theater to sleep with men."
What?
Do you not remember that from the episode?
Boondocks, yeah. I was confused. I was confused for a second. Then after you said, when you said the second line, I was like, "Oh yeah." I don't know, that episode doesn't really stick in my brain too much. That episode came out during the downfall of Boondocks, I call it. That was like last season of Boondocks, where the original creator wasn't really involved.
Correct.
So I call it the downfall of Boondocks. But now, yeah, Big Mama and Medea, maybe a third.
He said, "I'm gonna homo your ass and I'll stop
maybe.
paying." Pause. Pause.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, the Big Mama and Medea, it has a lot of potential. I can see it as his FBI mission is to dress up as Big Mama and try to take Medea down because she's been robbing banks and shit. But in the end, it ends up like Fast and Furious 1, where he lets the suspect go.
Are you shitting me right now? Did you just go Point Break? Is that what you just did? Did you just go Fast and the Furious? You're just gonna let him go, and then it can be all about family in the future sequels? Nah, we're good.
Hey, Fast and Furious is doing it. Fuck it, everyone does it. Marvel's doing it. Everybody. Shoot that motherfucker! Oh Lord, no! I don't even know if I should pour another glass, but I'm going to anyways. I'll pour a little one. Nah, but yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed that little side tangent, because in my famous words, that's going in a reel. Um, all that's going to reel. The last 20 minutes is going in the reel. Now I feel like another noteworthy Earthbender is King Boomy. So we got Toph, we got what was her name from the White Lotus?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What was that character? What was that character's name for the White Lotus?
Which one?
The one that you brought up as a noteworthy Earthbender,
Oh, Gazing.
Gazing. So Toph, Gazing. I feel like King Boomy is definitely 100% noteworthy. He was old as shit with a physique of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mm.
Listen, we know what that nigga was doing.
Oh, absolutely. But here's my shit though. Like, Aang and Boomy were childhood friends. This nigga Boomy is over 100 years old
Still getting it in.
and still with the shits. Still moving like a young man. Over 100 years old, still throwing rocks. Like, that motherfucker Boomy is a fucking savage. I'm just saying. Honorable mention is the Ba Sing Se guards. What were they called? The Dai Li? Like the Earth that the Ba Sing Se's police force, or the Earth Kingdom's police force.
Oh, the Dai Li.
Yeah, yeah, they are like that whole that's the whole organization is fucking honorable mention.
But them niggas were sweet too, man. Like I don't like how they fell for Azula and they fell in behind her. Like this bitch basically just bent her kingdom over and was like, take that, take that, take that. And next thing you know,
Hey,
she's just sitting on the
hey,
kingdom's throne. Everyone's bowing down to her, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna follow her."
mm. Well, it could be that the Dai Li were loyal to those who had power, those who had strength, not
Yes,
necessarily
because
loyal
Lord knows
to
that never goes
Boomy.
wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were brainwashed from the beginning. They didn't really give any fucks. They just followed orders from whoever was on the throne.
No, they just swallowed orders.
That's also a way to put it. That's a explicit way to put it.
They just swallowed orders. That's what they did.
They swallowed it up. Swallowed it up. Oh God. Oh wait, I don't think I can make that joke right now. All right, yeah, never mind. Yeah. So they yeah, so but alone their bending prowess is fucking crazy. Like they gave Toph a run for her money, who's a bender that learned from the original Earthbenders. They gave her a run for her money. The woman who created metal bending. And now here's the thing about Toph. So you remember Final Battle, she jumps into one of the airships, right? And somebody made a really, really good observation. I forgot who it was, but made very good observation. Metal bending wasn't a thing. She was the only metal bender in the world. So
Right?
you gotta imagine the absolute terror that these firebenders had to have been in on this fucking airship, where she burst through the door and uses the door to encase the one dude encases herself in metal. The absolute sheer terror, because they've never seen that shit before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, he's a really really big content creator. and a lot of his work is him breaking down or at least reacting to fights, not just animated fights, but just fights in general. Like I forget his name, and it bothers me that I forget. I'll remember it later. But he starts it off with, man, look at this shit. Look at the way this person goes, blah blah blah, whatever, and hits the exit, which is pretty much like, watch, look at this shit.
Counter, full counter.
Yes, him.
Woohoo! Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yes.
about.
Yes, him. Yes, him. Like he made a very very good point with that shit. And when he broke down that scene when she's taking out the airship, they're in the homeboys in the cockpit flying the shit, and she just bursts through the fucking door, rolls up in the fucking metal of the door, and just proceeds to whip everybody's ass in the room. Like the sheer fucking terror that they had to have. They had to been shitting their pants. They had to been dropping flaming hot turds, bro. Because I know for a fact, if that was me, if I've never seen that shit before in my life, that's me. I'm jumping off the fucking shit.
Straight out the window. All right, hot topic.
Yo,
Who's winning in a fight? Toph
oh,
or Gara?
Toph.
Oh,
They've already been done, and I'm pretty sure Toph won.
he said the blind bandit is beating the demon of the desert.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the first death battles I watched. RP death battles. RP death battles. Toph versus Gara. I'm pretty sure Toph won. Or maybe I'm just delusional and I feel like Toph should have won. But yeah, because she does eventually learn how to bend sand. But the way she does it is she learns how to solidify the sand. And here's the thing with Gara. Because the way Death Battle does it, they have each character at their peak at that time. Moment in time, each character at the peak. And Gara at that time, he was already Kazekaze, right?
Kazekage, yes.
Kazekaze at that time? Yeah, the Kazekage
Kase-
at the time.
Yes.
So at that time, he had already incorporated the gold into his sand. And what's gold? Gold is a metal. Gold can be bent. On top of that, she's already able to solidify sand at that time. So she can bend both his sand and the gold within his sand. But at the same time, when Gara pretty much debuffed himself, he pretty much nerfed himself by adding the gold to his sand because it made his sand heavier, which made his attacks slower.
Did I know that?
Now, if she was fighting young Gara, because also got to remember, Kazekage Gara is way, way mellower, way more put together, less sociopath than Kid Gara.
Yes.
Kid Gara, I might have to give it to him because he's just so bloodthirsty and ruthless.
Mm.
And he had like damn near endless stamina. I don't think Toph would have been able to keep up. Plus, sand is also a bit of a weakness for her because it's hard for her to feel the earth around her for her to be able to bend it. So that's why she has to solidify it before she bends it.
Right. I remember when they're out in the desert and the fucking library started to sing. She had to basically manipulate the sand at her feet, then manipulate it around the library to try to keep it from singing.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm giving so against Kazakage Gara, I'm giving it to Toph. Young Gara, I'm giving it to Gara.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, Toph at a prime, young Toph is still bending metal, goes in the metal. But now, technically, that could work to a disadvantage to Toph, because if she was to bend the gold out of his sand, it would end up making his sand faster and just boosting his speed.
Mm.
So she'd have to bend the sand first. Because Gara, he's not bending the gold. The gold just happens to be in the sand that's being bent. So she'd have to hit the sand first, solidify his sand first. Again, I watched that death battle was years ago. That had to be about good 5-6 years ago now, maybe even more than that. That was literally one of the first death battles I ever saw.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Mm.
I'll check it out. See if I can't find it.
Yeah, that was back when they were using like the 2D Mugen sprites. That was before they like leveled up to the. I'm pretty sure it was Incredible Hulk versus Superior Iron Man. Is when they first started doing the 3D ones.
Mm-hmm.
Superior Iron Man, he's the one that he's able to integrate the symbiote into his nanotech. No, we did no. That was Hulk versus Doomsday. I can't remember who they had fight that Iron Man.
I said I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So shout out to Jag for tuning in. So it was like 9 years ago. Damn. Oh, why you gotta age me like that? Why you gotta age me like that? This man right here speaking is a fucking death battle master. He's watched damn near every death battle. Again, RP death battles. Damn, it was a good run while you guys lasted. Yeah. But damn, yeah, 9 years ago. 9. That's almost a fucking decade ago. And I'm pretty sure he did the research on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he definitely looked that death battle up just now. But yeah, So I'll definitely give it to Toph on that one. Before we get up out of here, let's take a quick moment. Let's hear from some amazing podcasters that are doing some amazing things within the Blurred and Nerd universe. Let's hear from them themselves.
Going on, everybody, Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchups. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I would have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out. www.IcarusMetroComics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
And we're back. Please definitely go check out their podcast. Amazing podcast. Super. They have special guests all the time. Definitely super knowledgeable about whatever the fuck they're talking about. They all are real level 7s. We're currently in process of sending them some level 7 t-shirts and sweatshirts to let them know that they are officially a part of the level 7 community, just like the rest of y'all. We will have level 7 shirts and sweaters up for sale and pre-orders soon. We're still working on getting those together. Now, hot topic for you.
Oh boy.
Uncle Iroh, or Ace? Mm-hmm. Iroh or Ace?
Oh shit. I want to give that to Iroh because I think Iroh would outsmart Ace. Yes, no?
In the words of Uncle Iroh, very wise of you, young one.
I think
very
Ace
wise of you.
has got the raw power, but I think if we're talking strategy, nah, he's not beating Iroh. And the second he thought he had Iroh beat, Iroh will pull some okey doke and do that shit like where he breathe fire and it's over.
Yeah, I feel like again it goes back into something that you said many times before. It's not about the power you have; it's about how you use that power. So I feel like Iroh has way more control and ability over fire than Ace does. And again, we're probably gonna get a lot of hate for this one from all the One Piece diehards. But yeah, I definitely feel like Iroh's beating Ace on the strategic side of things. As you said, I agree. 100% I agree. So with this being the grand finale, what is your take?
Shit.
Or what is your feelings or the ideology on the overall of the Avatar universe and the elements and everything? Just go about your thoughts on Avatar altogether in a whole.
So I think it's one of those things like where if you look at the people of the world, whether you be black, white, gay, straight, whether you be someone of color, someone not of color, whether you're a U.S. citizen, whether you're not a U.S. citizen, it's one of those things like where the thing I find repeatedly seen, especially where we work, is that you will see people from all different walks of life who have all different journeys and experiences who are really not that different from you.
Mm.
And it's like how perspective is a big part of reality. Like even Zuko and Aang said like had to understand one another before they could truly become friends. And even Aang said it to him early in the series, like, yo, do you think if we had met before, like way before everything happened, that you and me could have been friends? And then Zuko's response was to attack him. But it's one of the things like he's doing what he thought he had to do. And then it's like once he realized the the corruption and everything that was going on in the world and how he had to play his part to stop it is when he finally sided with him and he's like, all right, I'm going to join Team Avatar. I'm going to teach the Avatar firebending. And you see it in his style and the way he did it, even as going as far as his physique. Like if you look at the early episodes, Zuko had like a warrior's build. He was real muscular, real well toned. But then if you watch him towards the end of the series, he lost the majority of his muscle.
No.
But it's because his style of bending had changed. He didn't need to rely on his brute strength anymore. He realized that fire isn't anger, it's not hate, it's love, it's life, it's light. It's, if anything, it's the purest form of energy.
And that's what his first firebending teacher was trying to teach Aang as well. I forget his name.
I want to say it was Zhong.
Yeah, Zhong. Yep. And that's what Zhong was trying to teach Aang. That it's not just about destroying things. Fire is light. Fire is life. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it gives life. It gives warmth. It gives heat. It provides. When it's misused and not respected, it can take it. And that goes along with every other style of bending. Bending is something that needs to be respected. Because again, you look at water bending, you got blood bending, right? You look at air bending. You see what Zahir did with his air bending. He literally sucked the air out of the lungs. You see with Monkey Atsu, where most likely that's what he did. He sucked the air out of the room. Because he was still in like cross-legged meditative stance when they found him. So
Right.
he probably sucked the air out of the room. Zahir sucked the air right out of the Earth Queen's lungs. Fire, we've already seen it, especially live action with fucking Sozin and Ozai just burning people alive with a snap of their fingers.
Yeah.
And earthbending, we can see it too. It can crush. Lava bending, we see it. Fucking earthbending in Legend of Korra, she unintentionally takes that combustion bender's life, blows up her head unintentionally.
Oh, please, Zahir's girl.
Yeah. Like, so, or like each bending aspect has a purpose within the balance in the way of the world. But that balance and that element needs to be respected, because as much as that benefits, when it's used by the wrong people, it could take a lot more than it benefits.
Well, that's also spoken with the resources of the planet itself, from the oceans to the trees to the radioactive material to all these things that we have on the planet. Like you look at the ocean, there's a whole literal island of garbage that's floating in the ocean. That's huge, like massive. I'm talking about like the size of a mansion.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I'm pretty sure it's the size of a continent now.
it's ridiculous. And it's like, what effort has been made to do this? Like, how did this even happen? Like, when did we catch wind of this? How is this something you're not taught about in school? Like, you talk about all these big companies that are trying to buy the rainforest to tear down the lumber, or they want to use the water and bottle it and sell it to people. And it's like how it's all about capitalism and pushing in the agenda of what's right and what's wrong, what's okay and what's not. And it's like how many trees are we gonna chop down before we can't breathe no more?
Ooh.
How much garbage are you gonna put in the ocean until we can't
drink no more?
Right?
So the fish can't swim anymore
With the air.
The fish that we eat die off. How long can the air be polluted for before we can't breathe anymore? Damn, bro. That's heavy. That's
Right.
heavy right there. Like, I 100% agree. Like, literally, look at Mother Nature. Look the way it roams. Go out to Florida, you literally have an entire season of just hurricane after hurricane after hurricane after hurricane. Midwest tornado valley, tornado after tornado. We literally just witnessed a massive tornado. Massive tornado. Look at what's going on in Dubai right now with the rain. Within a week, they got more rain in a week than they have in a year. And that was in the first week that it was raining there. It's still raining there, to my knowledge.
Right. And it's like, we shrug these things off. We don't think of it as no big thing. Like, oh, Mother Nature's having her period of time. And I'm not. That's not a descriptive word when I say her period. I mean, it's she's going through her changes with the world and the seasons. But it's one of those things where you got to really ask yourself, are we to blame for some of this shit? Like you say, if you have an area of the world that experiences a certain level of change because of the stuff that's happened all of a sudden, like, for example, we all know that we get earthquakes on the West Coast from time to time.
Yeah.
Now, say none of that happened until California became so populated as it was. Now, say like that same thing, like there's a few million people that live in New York City. So if we have, say, like, for whatever reason, say like there was so much done on the island that now it starts to sink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we already see that we're melting the ice,
Yeah.
the polar ice cap, and it's like you got to start asking yourself these questions. Like, if we're not respecting the world, what's going to happen? And you see
Why
these,
should the world respect us?
right? You see these post-apocalyptic world movies. The Book of Eli. Excuse me, Resident Evil. Oh, they just did that whole series Fallout, like where you see what happens when we're not around, even after Earth. Like, if you look at that movie, like where he gives him that whole speech where he was like, everything on this planet is bred to kill or destroy. Like, it's full of nothing but predators, and then like, that's a whole fact. Like, if we woke up tomorrow and we found out we were not the dominant thing on the food chain no more, we'd be fucked. But it's
Majorly.
But it's one of those things, like, people don't truly appreciate these things. So much stuff gets taken for granted until they don't have it no more. And it's like, one of the things that makes the United States so different is that, like, we've never had a dictator. We've never had to go through famine or nuclear fallout, or had to rebuild from this, and this. So it's like you have other countries that have had to deal with that. So it's like when you see these things, it makes you question what's going on. Like I say, that's one of the things I thought that was different, because a lot of people don't like the Legend of Korra, because people thought the Legend of Korra was so different from The Last Airbender, which it was phenomenally different. But one of the things, like I said, I thought that made it good is the fact that it became political, because it's one of those things like where it made you start to appreciate shit and question shit a little bit more.
Art imitates reality.
Right? And one of the biggest things that we talk about, because, we just had Easter past, excuse me, is that the spiritual side of society, that's damn near dead. People aren't spiritual. Like, if you're someone who's a born Christian or Baptist, or someone who reads the Bible, there's very few people who I know honor the commandments. Like, I know Muslims that eat pork, shit like that.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, I know. like that pray 5 times a day. Like there's a lot of things that come into play with that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by no means, but the spiritual side of society, along with respecting the planet and our place and everything that's going on, is so lost all of a sudden. It's borderline insane.
And wow, yeah, that's exactly what happened in Legend of Korra. People had moved so far from the spiritual learnings that the spirit world started to kind of push back against it, and they had no clue what the fuck to do when when harmonic convergence happened and the spirits started to bleed over into the living world again, like it was in the past. Like I said in the last episode, the in Avatar Wan's age, the first Avatar, the spirit world and the human world coincided together in harmony and peace. So yeah, that's that, and that's also probably why people didn't like Korra like that, and people were hating on Korra like that because it got too real for them. It related too hard for them.
Mm.
The world that we living in, it was a very very big, like, text to real world, kind of show. And especially in the last season when she fought Kovira, it showed how how industry was a very large proponent in the fall of the spiritual side of things. And again, let me point out that we're not pushing religion or spirituality on anyone. That's not what we're saying. We're just pointing out that the world and society as we live in it today, majority of the world and society that we live in today, does not respect the elements, does not respect the world that the earth that we walk on. It just does not respect it. So with that being said, we're gonna have another run through our podcast friends one more time, then we're gonna get into our final remarks. All right, hold on. We're gonna try that again. That it didn't take that time. We're gonna try it one more time.
Going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
And we're back. Yeah. So before I was saying before the commercial break, it's a Avatar. It kind of really, it really makes a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. Both Avatar, Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra. Um, we were just pointing out that pretty much the world doesn't, the society, the majority of society doesn't respect the elements and doesn't respect the earth and the ground that we walk on, that we live on, doesn't respect the air that we breathe, doesn't respect the water that we drink. We're not trying to how you say, we're not trying to pretty much to push any spiritual or religious kind of aspects on anyone. It's just the idea of just respecting the world around us, because we don't, it's not really, it's not as big as it used to be, and that's something that core really pushed upon. People were so, oh my god, all these technological innovations and advancements, and it was more, people just stuck within the world that they were living and completely forgot about the spiritual world that started it all. Um, so, with that being said, any final remarks for the people, Triage?
Hmm. That I want you to stay grounded like earth, but be as beautiful and as fierce as fire.
Mm, mm, deep, heavy. Um, for me, my final remarks is to, if you take anything away from watching the Avatar universe, is that the elements around us at all times. They make up everything that we do, everything that we hold. Right now, the computers, technology that we're using, somewhere on a molecular level, all four elements are working together to make all this shit happen within ourselves. All four elements are working together or work together at some point to make what we are. Balance is key. I'm not going to say peace, because peace is a lie,
Peace is
but
a lie.
balance is key. There's only passion, but overall balance is key. And you can take that and use that within your own daily life as well. Balance is key. Work life balance, balancing your own emotions. Balance is key to living. Without air, we could not breathe. Without water, we cannot drink. Our body is like what, 80% water? Without water, we cannot survive. We cannot live. Without water, there would be no fish for us to eat. Without fire, there wouldn't be no warmth. We literally rotate a massive ball of fire in a massive, vast, ever expanding emptiness of the universe.
Wasn't
Without
it?
no fire, what was that?
I said, wasn't it Prometheus who stole fire from the gods and gave it to mortals, thus giving us technology?
Exactly. Without fire, there would be no warmth. Without fire, the plants that help us breathe would not exist. Without water, the plants we use, that we eat, that we chop down to make paper, to make tables, to make all this other shit, we would not have it. You know what? Hell, if there was no sun, I feel like there would be no slavery because there would be no sun to grow plants to make cotton, so we wouldn't be picking shit.
There'd be no us power.
There'd be no us. Triage. You're right. There would be no us. We are the
I,
children of the sun.
we are.
And without us, there would be no America. Just saying.
This is America. This is America.
I got you slipping out. um, but no, yeah, just my final remarks is just like respect the balance, respect the elements, earth, fire, air, water. Respect them because without them, we will not be. We could not be.
Mm,
That's pretty much all I got.
let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the people. Um, you got anything else for them before we sign off?
Let's see. Next month is the month of May, where where we will be deep diving into our favorite Star Wars characters.
Ah, yes. May the fourth be with you. May the force be with you. Yeah. May is going to be a very fun month. We are currently working on getting at least 2 to 3 guests on the show this month, the month of May. It's gonna be a really good time. First off, shout out the listen. I need to give a shout out to Triage right now for lending me his Darth Bane collection. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Like,
Bane's that nigga, son.
yeah, he's definitely that nigga. I just finished book one. I'm maybe about like 5, 6 chapters into book two, which is the rule of two. Book one is the path of destruction for Darth Bane. Book two is the rule of two. Um, and it's crazy. I'm currently at the point of book two where he just found Freedom Nad's temple got
Mm-hmm.
attacked by the or basilisk. Now
Yes.
he has one on his back and one on his chest that are completely immune to lightsabers and anything that work in pretty much a symbiotic relationship with the dark side of the force. And I just read the part where Frida Nad's what do they oh fuck what do they call it, the holocron,
Yes.
Frida Nad's holocron. He just found the blueprints for a helmet to stop the obelisks from like growing over his face and stopping him from breathing. So I'm literally right at that point right there, in book two. So May the Force be with you is going to be a great month. It's going to be a very fun month. We're going to have quite a few guests on. I'm currently working on it. It's going to be great. Um, and again, currently right now, our fuck prep time sweatshirts, t-shirts, shorts, and workouts. I'm sorry, hoodie, t-shirts, basketball shorts, as well as our workout hoodie are currently still available on our website. They're currently still up for sale. Uh, Definitely check them out. The link is in our bio. Everyone's loving them. When it comes to the shorts, I will say you might want to order a size smaller for the shorts. Because I recently saw the shorts and a large is massive. A large is huge. Large is like looks like an extra large, so you might want to order a size smaller. The materials are absolutely amazing. The prints are holding up absolutely amazing within the multiple wash tests, and we're gonna have way more products coming out for you guys now, ranging from rugs the more designs for the hoodies, t-shirts, and sweatpants, the cups and tumblers, you name it. If there's a certain type of product that y'all want us to make, let us know. You know, we'll look into it, see if we can get it done, and we'll most definitely put it out there for y'all to grab. Definitely, and again, thank you to everyone that hit the pre-order on our first clothing line drop. Shout out to everyone. We will have something special for you guys coming later on down the line. We really appreciate you for the support. Level 7s. That has been the super breakdown and the grand finale of Avatar April. Please stay tuned. Check out our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, as well as our Kick. We are currently on a campaign to become Kick affiliate. So please check us out on Kick. It's about to be big. We're doing big things. We're making big moves. I'm Power Maximus. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. As always, tune in next week. We're going to have Prince of Desolation on with some awesome ass fucking Star Wars gaming. Peace. Oh, and remember, peace is a lie. There's only passion. And always remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Mwahaha. Yeah, that was a little outro. Hope you'll like it. We're gonna be doing some more tweaks on that to get that better and nice off.
Yeah,
I want
we're
to give y'all those TP.
well, that one was a little choppy at times. You might want to go back and listen to it. I don't know what was
like I said,
happening. We don't ever have that issue no other time.
Yeah. We're working on it, people. We're working on it. Things are growing. We are growing. We got some big opportunities, big doors open for us. So, we're growing, and I love the fact that for everyone who has stuck with us from the very beginning, for our pre-recorded, hour-long Spotify episodes, all the way until now, over 50 episodes in. We appreciate you all, love you all, absolutely. And again, Triage, I wouldn't want to take this journey with anybody else. I definitely appreciate you, man. Like, this show is absolutely amazing because of you, as well as the Prince of Desolation. But yeah, absolutely. Triage, stay in the broadcast after the fact.
Copy.
Peace, everybody.
Peace a lie.
There's only lie. There's only passion, and through passion,
You gain strength.
and through strength,
You gain power.
and through power,
You gain victory.
and through victory,
Our chains are broken.
our chains are broken.